when you spoke about general fund balance and the fact that there are, I think, 3 categories, undesignated, reserved, and something else, right?
Restricted and designated, restricted, and unreserved, unrestricted.
My question is essentially, in terms of comparing that fund balance 2009, 2010, the real issue for many council members would be is what has happened to the undesignated or unrestricted? Has that increased as well, or increased more or less, or because the other ones really are obligated, right?
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of control over the other ones. I believe it was about a $500,000 increase in the unreserved, undesignated for 2010.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President?
Thank you. My question is related also to the undesignated reserves, but also in relation to a good accounting, good procedure. When we budget, and I know a budget is not something that's locked in stone, but when we budget and then do not make a dedicated effort not to spend the money that has already been authorized in the course of the budget, how do you as accountants look at that? I mean, on the one hand, it might look very good that we're being frugal, but in the whole scene of things, where does that fit in relation to the operation of a business of this size?
Well, what we look at is to make sure that you have a healthy enough fund balance that you're not having to go out and borrow short term. There's a lot of municipalities that do have to go for short-term borrowing in order, once their taxes come in, they're able to pay that off. Right now, you're not in that situation. There's not really there's kind of a general guideline. You don't want to get over 50%. That's, probably kind of high. And we say you don't want to be below 20%.
Yeah, but my question more is in relation to the procedures of budgeting.
Okay.
When the council approves a budget, then how seriously should we take it not to pursue the programs that have been budgeted for?
Well, for us, we look at it, we make sure you're not over budget in any specific line, because if you are, it's a state compliance violation, so we have to report that. We compare budget to actual and, make sure that there's not something that's significantly over budget. We'll look into it more. Am I answering your question?
No. But I think in a sense you are. The issue that we are concerned with is developing a budget that is programmatically accurate. I think that's what I was getting at, and apparently it's not something you particularly dig into in the course of the audit.
No, we just basically look to make sure that you're not overspending your budget at the end of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions of the speaker? If not, can I have a motion to close public hearing? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. Also on here is number 76, Housing Authority of the City of LaCrosse Financial Statement and Independent Auditor's Report for the year ended December 31st, 2010. And the recommendation on 73 through 76 is to receive and file. Can I have a motion for that, please? And a motion and second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
The Housing Authority, though, is a separate entity that I would think that we should just vote on 73 through 75 and then take 76 separately.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion for items 73, 4, and 5? We have a motion and a second. to receive and file. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 76. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Motion, nay. Motion is carried. Okay, going back to the resolution authorizing an audit of the LaCrosse Bluffland Protection Program, appropriation of funds. This is notice for closed session. Can I have a motion to go into closed session? No, we have some, Phil is on the clock and he is here. I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. President Connor? Aye. We are now in closed session.